Welcome to JEE Fun Facts Online. Imagine sitting in a silent hall, the only sound, the frantic scribbling of pens and the hum of a computer. You have 3 hours, then a short break, then another 3 hours. In this 6-hour mental marathon, every single question is designed to push the limits of your understanding. This isn't just an exam. For many, it's the defining moment of their young lives. This is the Joint Entrance Examination Advanced, or JEE Advanced, the gateway to the prestigious Indian Institutes of Technology, and one of the most formidable academic challenges on the planet. Today, we're going deep inside this crucible of dreams to understand what makes it so notoriously difficult and what it tells us about the relentless pursuit of excellence. The journey to an IIT is a grueling 2-part trial. Before a student can even think about the JEE Advanced, they must conquer the JEE Main. Each year, over 1 million students sit for the main exam. Think about that number, more than the entire population of some cities. From this enormous pool, only the top 250,000 candidates are allowed to proceed. This filtering process is brutal. To be in that top 250,000, a student in the general category typically needs to score in the 91st percentile or higher. This means they've already outperformed 9 out of every 10 peers in a nationwide test. But clearing this first hurdle only earns them a ticket to the main event, the true behemoth, the JEE Advanced. This single exam is the sole criterion for admission into the 23 IITs, institutions revered globally for their academic rigor and their incredibly successful alumni. So what does this ultimate test actually look like? The JEE Advanced is a 6-hour computer-based test, split into 2 compulsory papers, each 3 hours long, held on the same day. Each paper covers physics, chemistry, and mathematics. The syllabus is vast, officially covering what students learn in 11th and 12th grade, but the reality is far more demanding. The questions aren't about recalling facts. They are designed to test a deep, conceptual understanding and the ability to apply principles from different topics to solve a single, complex problem. What truly sets the JEE Advanced apart and strikes fear into the hearts of aspirants is its perpetually changing and unpredictable pattern. There is no fixed format. The number of questions, the types of questions, and even the marking scheme can, and often do, change every single year. This is a deliberate strategy to defeat rote learning and reward students who are adaptable and can think on their feet. Let's break down the types of questions a student might face. First, you have your standard multiple-choice questions with a single correct answer. But even these are tricky. The options are often deceptively similar, designed to catch anyone with a superficial understanding of the topic. Then it gets harder. You have multiple-choice questions, where 1 or more answers can be correct. These are notoriously difficult. To get full marks, a student must identify every single correct option and nothing else. Sometimes partial credit is given, but select even 1 wrong option, and you often get negative marks. It's a high-risk, high-reward puzzle. Next are the numerical answer-type questions. Here, there are no options to choose from. Students must solve the problem and type in a precise numerical answer, often to a specific number of decimal places. There's no room for guessing. Accuracy is everything. Finally, you might see matching list questions or paragraph-based questions. These require students to read, comprehend, and synthesize a block of information before tackling a series of related problems, testing a holistic understanding of a concept. The marking scheme is just as dynamic. Negative marking is a standard feature, punishing guesswork. Partial marking adds another layer of strategic complexity. The total score for the exam also fluctuates. In 2020, it was 396. In 2021, it was 360. This constant unpredictability means students can't just practice old papers and expect to know the format. They have to prepare for anything. Now, let's talk about the cold, hard numbers that paint a picture of the immense competition. In 2024, about 191,000 students who qualified through JEE Main registered for the JEE Advanced. They were all competing for roughly 17,385 seats across all 23 IITs. That translates to a student-to-seat ratio of approximately 11-to-1. But remember, this is the ratio among the elite who already made it through the first filter. If you compare it to the million-plus students who started the journey, the odds become astronomical, and just taking the exam is no guarantee of anything. In a recent year, out of about 180,000 candidates who appeared for both papers, only around 54,000 actually qualified. That's a qualification rate of just 30%, even among this highly selective group. Qualifying simply means you are now eligible to be considered for a seat. Securing one, especially in a sought-after branch, is another story. The competition for top branches at the premier IITs is staggering. To get into the coveted computer science engineering program at IIT Bombay, for example, a candidate typically needs to secure a rank within the top 100 nationwide. For other popular branches like electrical or mechanical engineering in the older, more established IITs, a rank in the top few thousand is often required. The top ranks are a matter of national news. The students who secure them are celebrated like heroes. In 2025, for instance, the All India Rank 1 was secured with a score of 332 out of 360. The difference between the top ranks can be just a handful of marks, highlighting the razor-thin margins that separate success from what is perceived as failure. The exam we know today is the product of decades of evolution. The first common entrance exam for the IITs was held way back in 1961. For a long time, into the 1980s, the IIT JEE was a subjective, essay-style exam designed to thoroughly test a student's analytical thought process. In the 1990s, this changed to a two-tier system, an objective screening test followed by a subjective mains exam for those who passed. This was done to make the evaluation process more manageable as the number of applicants grew. Then, from 2006 to 2012, it shifted again to a single objective-style exam with two papers. Finally, in 2013, the system we have today was born. The old National Engineering Exam, the AIEEE, was rebranded as JEE Main, and the old IIT JEE became the JEE Advanced, creating the two-part trial by fire. These changes have always been subjects of intense debate, but the core identity of the exam remains. It is designed to find the sharpest technical minds in the country. The sheer difficulty and high stakes of the JEE have fueled a massive, multi-billion-dollar coaching industry. Cities like Kota and Rajasthan have become famous, or perhaps infamous, as giant factories for JEE preparation. Hundreds of thousands of students, some as young as 13 or 14, move there, leaving their families to enroll in intensive coaching programs. The role of these institutes is a fiercely debated topic. On one hand, they provide a structured curriculum, expert teachers, and a highly competitive environment that many believe is essential to crack the exam. They conduct countless mock tests, honing students' problem-solving speed and time management. However, this industry has a dark side. The intense, cutthroat pressure is a major contributor to a growing mental health crisis among students. The fear of failure, amplified by parental and societal expectations, leads to crippling anxiety and depression. Tragically, it also leads to student suicides every year. The life of a JEE aspirant is often a solitary one, consumed by 12 to 16-hour study days, with little room for social life or hobbies. This relentless focus on a single goal in a hyper-competitive environment can be overwhelming. In recent years, awareness of this mental health crisis has grown, but the societal glorification of success at any cost remains a powerful and damaging force. So what happens to those who survive this gauntlet? For those who successfully navigate the treacherous waters of the JEE Advanced, a world of opportunity opens up. An undergraduate degree from an IIT is a passport to a successful career. IIT graduates are aggressively recruited by the world's top companies in tech, finance, and consulting, with starting salaries that are multiples of the national average. Life at an IIT is itself a transformative experience. It's a vibrant ecosystem of some of the brightest minds in the country. Students are exposed to a rigorous curriculum, cutting-edge research, and a wide array of activities that build them into well-rounded individuals. The powerful IIT alumni network is another incredible asset, providing mentorship and career opportunities for life. While many graduates enter high-paying corporate jobs, a significant number go on to pursue higher studies at top global universities like MIT and Stanford. Many others become entrepreneurs, founding some of India's most successful startups. A growing number are also choosing careers in research and development, contributing directly to the nation's scientific progress. Globally, the JEE Advanced is often compared to other tough exams like China's Gaokao. While direct comparisons are tricky, the combination of a vast syllabus, the unpredictable and complex question patterns, and the incredibly low acceptance rate firmly places the JEE in a league of its own. Unlike exams like the SAT in the US, which focus more on general aptitude, the JEE is a deep, technical dive into the core sciences. The JEE Advanced is more than an exam. It's a mirror reflecting a nation's aspirations and the immense value it places on merit and education. But it is also a system under strain. The intense pressure and its human cost cannot be ignored. The dominance of a costly coaching industry raises serious questions about equity and access for students from different economic backgrounds. As India's education system evolves, the challenge is to build a system that identifies talent without crushing spirits. A system that nurtures not just intellectual ability, but also creativity, innovation, and mental well-being. The story of the JEE Advanced is the story of millions of dreams, of a relentless, sometimes brutal pursuit of excellence. It's a story of the enduring power of education to change lives, and it's a narrative that continues to be written and rewritten year after year by the hopes and fears of a new generation. Thank you for listening to JEE Fun Facts Online.